In the next couple of days, we are going to have temperatures dropping down to the low 30s. So today is the day that we are going to take almost everything out of the garden. There are some things like maybe carrots and beets and lettuce that can stay, and kale, that can stay in the garden for a little while longer, but everything else has to come out. So we have a ton of things to harvest today. So thank you for coming along and joining us in this harvest, and let's get started. We're going to go ahead and harvest these butternut squash. We have about 15 butternut squash in these 2 rows that need to be harvested. We already harvested a whole bunch maybe about a month ago, and now we're going to get the rest because the plants are completely done and these are done maturing. So we have several of these that we're going to harvest, and we're going to fill our basket, and this is really exciting. This one here is huge. I think this is probably the biggest one we have.
Can you help me get that on there? All right, ready?
Oh, so good. This one looks huge and looks beautiful. I found a couple over here that look really gross. I don't know what is going on here. It doesn't feel mushy, but it doesn't look right. So we're not going to get this one. But there's another one over here that actually is rotting and looks very mushy. Both of these we are going to either put them in the compost pile or give them to the chickens.
Pretty good sized one there, nicely shaped, and this one does not have any rotting like some of the other ones did.
I am so excited to harvest these carrots over here. These have been growing in between our cucumber rows in this bed here. And we pulled out our cucumbers maybe a week or 2 ago because they were just done. And these are ready to harvest. Some of these are so huge. I don't know if I'm excited or scared because they are huge. So I want you to see how huge these are. So I guess once I pull them out, I'm gonna be able to see how long they are. But look at this, the circumference of these is huge. I have never seen carrots this fat. Look. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, doesn't feel very long. Ooh, but look at this. Look at how thick it is. Wow. This is beautiful, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling more from this row over here. In this row, we have a lot of carrots, and we also have beets. So we'll get to the beets in a second. Oh, this one looks good also. These are both very, very fat. Love it. Here's another one. Oh, so good. Now, I know some of you are going to ask me what variety these are. And the honest truth is that I don't know. I mean, I have certain varieties that I grow, but I don't remember exactly what this one is because I did not label these. Oh, wow, these are good. I am so excited because so far I haven't seen any of those wire worms that I saw in my last carrot harvest. So this is really good. I'm gonna keep moving this way. Okay, so we have lots of different sizes. Some are small, some are just huge. I lost my stem. Oh, this one. Okay, I'm gonna move the one next to it first, and hopefully that will help me. Oh, the other one's also huge. Oh man, these are both wedged in pretty tightly in there. But I want to be gentle because I don't want to break it, but I have a feeling it's very long. Okay. Oh, nice. Look at this. Long and thick. I love it. Okay, here we go. Wow. Oh my goodness. These are impressive. Oh, perfect. We recently just finished consuming the carrots that we harvested last. And so now this is perfect timing for these. Oh, look at these. These are so funny. They're going to be perfect for the chickens. So I'm going to be using these obviously just for meals and stuff. But I also want to try fermenting some of these. I think that's going to be like a good way to store them. But at the same time, it's going to add more probiotic benefits to our diet. Look at how thick this one is. It is unbelievable. It's almost like the thickness of my arm. I am getting to an area over here where I have beets. So I'm going to harvest some beets over here. And some of them sometimes are small, some of them bigger. Oh, this one didn't even grow very well. And with the beets, it was an experiment this year because we didn't grow beets here this way last year. Because I know that we had these two rows that were covered with just a huge amount of cucumber plants. So I know these plants didn't get a lot of sunlight. But I know we have some good ones over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and harvest the beets, and we still have another row of carrots over here. Okay, here we go. A little bit bigger. One thing with the beets, I did not thin them out. So some of them are growing very close to one another. And when that happens, sometimes they just don't have enough space to get bigger. Here we go. This is a decent size right here. Here you can see that these are growing very close together. So they're not, even, they were just not going to keep getting any bigger because they don't have enough room. These are good. This is like really good size over here. This one is probably the biggest one we have over here in this area. In the other area where I grew beets, and my beets were giant a few months ago when we harvested those, I really made sure to thin them out, and I think that's what allowed them to grow really big. But in this area, they weren't thinned very well. I think it's also because of where they are. It makes it very difficult to thin out the carrots and the beets when I have a lot of cucumber plants growing in this area. So it was just really hard to get to that area and manage it.
I'm going to harvest our zucchini here, which is actually really surprising to me that some of these grew, because a few weeks ago I went and harvested them and they were all mushy and gross. So these are kind of tiny, but I'm still surprised that we have some more that we can harvest today. So I'm just going to harvest everything right now, even the small ones, because we're going to rip these out. Here we go. This is a pretty good sized one right here. Look at that. Again, I was going to take these plants out previously. It's amazing to see that some of them still grew. That's good size right there. That's pretty good. All in all, I only got 4 of them. but there's 4 that I wouldn't have had otherwise if I didn't leave those plants. And then we'll take out the rest of the plants as the frost is going to be here any day now. Yeah, these plants are completely done. I'm just going to take them out here. They even have been rotten here at the core. I'm just going to take out their roots as well.
These bush green beans have been so productive for us. We have harvested pounds and pounds of green beans from here, and we even have enough to freeze and preserve for the winter, which is so exciting. And every time we thought these plants were done and we wanted to rip them out, and for one reason or another we didn't, and we came back out here, we always found more green beans. And that's the case today again. I am going around and I see that there's still quite a few green beans to harvest. They have been growing even though it has been very cold this past week and we've had some light frost. That's why some of the leaves are completely died out, but the plant is still continuing to produce, which is really exciting. So today I'm going to harvest what I can from this. In the next few days, we're going to have a frost, a real frost, and that's probably going to just kill everything out. But I think for now, I'm just going to harvest the green beans that are ready, and I'm just going to let the plants run their course over here. So this is exciting. I still have, it's not a lot of green beans, but it's something. And I am excited that we can still be harvesting some green beans in almost mid-October now. Some of these I'm going to let them go to seed, so hopefully they'll be able to dry out here in the vine in the next few days. Otherwise, I'm going to pull them out and let them dry so I can collect the seeds.
We have sunflowers all over the garden, and it's getting cold now, and so it's just time to harvest the rest of them because eventually the other birds are going to get at them. And so we want to save some of them for the winter, but we also want to give some of them to our chickens. And so I'm just going to go around the garden. I'm just going to harvest the rest of them. It looks like the birds started getting at this one. This is exactly why I want to harvest all of these today. You can see right here they started pecking at that, and on this side here, and you can see how they're missing. And so these ones are really good size. You can see them right there. They're fully mature. And so I want to make sure I get all these in the garden before the other birds can get to them.
We have so many jalapenos in this bed, and Nico and I are going to go ahead and harvest all of these. And I know Gabriel's going to be excited because we're going to be making something for him with all these jalapenos. So we're going to go ahead and actually remove the plants as well. And we're going to leave some of the herbs. They will still be fine for a little while still. So a lot of these jalapenos have turned red, and that's okay. We're gonna do that. Oh, some of them are not good, like this one here that started to like rot or whatever. We're gonna get rid of those. But we're gonna harvest all the red ones and all the green ones and everything that is here so we can use them up.
Some of these didn't grow that big. Some of them you can see here, they're not as big as the other ones, but we're still going to harvest these. These can be a great source of food for our chickens throughout the winter. And so we definitely want to get those and take them off. There we go. Oh, it's starting, looks like the birds were starting to get at this one. And this is my last one here in the garden, so I'm just going to take it off. Last one for this season. Really nice size one here. I'm just going to set this on side and I'm going to take out this last one. Now this one here, it's a little bit bigger and it's almost like pulling out a tree. They're just massively big things. There we go. Look at that. It's coming right out. You can see here, the roots got pretty big and went down there. It's like a small tree.
We need to harvest some peppers that are in this row over here with the asparagus. But in order to get to this bed, we need to take care of all these marigolds and some other plants that got overgrown. We have some basil that went to seed. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. So we're going to take care of that to kind of clean out this pathway so that we can get to the peppers and to the tomatoes over here on this other side. So that's what we're going to do first before we get to harvesting. A lot of these kind of just broke out on their own. That's why they were falling over, because they were just... And we have a lot of tomatoes over here that we weren't able to get to because of these marigolds. So this is going to be good. Oh, wow. Okay. So we can see some of the peppers from this side better, but this is what I found. Awful. This is so gross. We haven't been able to get to this path or this side of the garden in a while because it was just so overgrown. So it makes sense why some things are in this condition. But the one next to it looks perfect. So we'll count that as a win, and we'll give this other one to the chickens. We're gonna have a lot of peppers, and some of them are still small, but that's okay. We want to make sure we harvest these because we are gonna get frost, and this one here looks like it's damaged by frost. So we don't want this to happen. So even if they're a little bit small, we are going to harvest them anyway. We have been finding so many of these tomato hornworms, and they are just so disgusting and they are just decimating our plants. But they have definitely been a nice treat for the chickens. They have been enjoying them. We have a basket full of peppers right here, and we still have a few random plants in a few places in the garden, and we're going to finish harvesting those. We are completely removing all the pepper plants. So this is it for our peppers. Yeah, so look at all these. Ooh. So even the small ones, we're just going to go ahead and harvest them. Yeah, good ones. Over here in this pepper plant, we have this yellow pepper, and I definitely want to save seeds from this one. I think this is the first yellow pepper that we have had. All our other ones have been red. And even though it still has a little bit of green streaks, I'm going to harvest it, and then I'm going to let it ripen so I can save seeds from this one. But we're going to go ahead and remove the peppers from these plants here as well. these broccoli plants did not grow the way I planned. A lot of them just bolted and they started turning to flower, and they have all kinds of bugs, even though we covered it with a net. But we do have a few heads, even though they're very small, that I think are still edible. So I'm going to harvest just a few of those small heads, and I think we can totally use them for like a stir fry or something like that. Now, go ahead and just cut these small ones like this, and we can probably use them today or tomorrow. And then the rest of these are going to go to the chickens, or we can probably let the bees enjoy these for a little bit longer. This, you can see it is really starting to open up and flower, but it's still edible. So I'm going to harvest that. I think we have one more. Basically, from all the plants that I planted in this entire bed, I pretty much got what would be a head of broccoli, which is really, really sad. I need to figure out a way to grow broccoli better. This is my second time, my second year growing broccoli, trying to grow broccoli, and my second fail. So I really need to figure that out, because we do eat a lot of broccoli, and this needs to be a bigger crop for us next year. We decided to go ahead and just remove these from this bed, and we are going to feed them to the chickens. The chickens have so much food right now. They are enjoying it. Even though lettuce is a frost hardy crop, we are going to protect them with a frost cover. So we're just putting those little metal structures to be able to put the frost cover on it. Over here in this area, we have a big mess on our hands. We have a lot of carrots that we need to harvest. I don't know if we're going to get to them today. But we also have 2 rows of cherry tomatoes here. And then we have this that happened. This is the Jalapeno trellis that got detached from the T-post here. And for the last 2 years, or maybe 3 years that we've had this, we have been using zip ties. And I think it just got really heavy with a cherry tomato plant that it just broke off. So somehow we need to figure out how to take care of this mess, because we also have some celery plants here in between the tomato plants that we need to harvest. So we're going to work on that and harvest some celery, maybe some carrots, and then try to figure out what to do with the tomatoes. We're going to go ahead and remove these tomato plants because they are so intertwined in this cattle panel that I think that's what we need to do. We're going to try to harvest what we can from this, even the ones that are not completely ripe. We'll just let them ripen inside the house. But I think this is the best thing we can do to be able to access this area. This celery is huge, but it looks like it's past its prime. It doesn't look very good. So we are going to go ahead and give it to the chickens. Here's a good one that looks good for us to eat. So yeah, there we go. That's a good one. We are going to remove all the tomatoes from these Roma tomatoes. The plants are just looking very sickly. So even if they're not ripe, we're just going to remove everything. And we have some carrots growing in this bed as well. We're going to leave the carrots, let them continue to grow a little bit more. The soil in this bed looks very dry. So I'm a little bit concerned about the carrots. Although when I just move around it, it looks pretty decent. So now I'm tempted actually to harvest these carrots. I don't know. We'll see. Our irrigation system is not connected to this bed, so it definitely did not get consistent watering like our other plants. I decided to harvest these carrots because since it's not connected to our irrigation system, it is a bed that we would have to come and water, and we're just not very consistent at this point, so we're just going to harvest them. Oh man, this would have been perfect, but look at that. It split. Oh, that's so sad. I know we can still use it like that, so. Ooh, this one is perfect. Oh, no. This one is so split. I don't know if it's beyond recovery. We'll see. Oh, but then every once in a while we get these like perfect ones, so I don't know really. So a lot of good ones here, a lot of funny ones, small, all different kinds of shapes and sizes here. I remember when I first planted these, I did thin them out, but I probably could have done that again. Oh, look at this one. Oh, this is huge. It's perfect. I probably could have gone over it again and thinned it out some more, but I didn't because by then the tomato plants were a little bit bigger and I didn't want to come to this side of the garden because it was just so jungly back there. So these carrots were very difficult to get to be able to thin them out and do all that. Actually, I'm impressed because a lot of these are looking really good. I've had a few ones that were split, but now a lot of these are just so good. Oh, look at this. Unbelievable. And it's perfect too. It doesn't have any cracking or anything. Wow, I was not expecting that. That's beautiful. Ooh. Have some really good ones over here. Wow. I am actually very impressed. I thought these ones were going to struggle because like I said, these ones didn't get consistent watering, but these are actually looking maybe even better than the other ones in the other bed, in the cucumber bed. Look at these. These are so good. Oh, this one looks like it got attacked by those wire worms, I think that's what they're called. So we'll just give this one to the chickens. And we're down to the last few carrots over here. And I'm very impressed with the amount of carrots that we are getting from this bed here. I am so happy with this carrot harvest over here. Look at these.
We might need a knife for this one.
No, I got it. I got you.
A rainstorm is coming, so we are trying to move really fast over here and finish up our time out here. We didn't harvest all the carrots. We left some carrots that we can harvest in a few weeks still. We did a lot, and we did the most that we could today. We have been out here in the garden for over 4 hours. We didn't have lunch, so we need to go inside and start making dinner because lunch didn't happen today. Hopefully we will not get caught in the rain. Look at this, Nico.
Okay.
Got it.
Got it.
With the beet. Are we doing this to beets too?
Yes, let's do the same thing to the beets.
Oh, okay. Let's beat him.
Let's
Let's beat the storm.
So this was our harvest for today. This is probably our last big harvest of the year. What an amazing way to end the year. So many peppers and squash and just so many things. It is starting to rain, but I think we got everything done that we wanted to get done today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you guys next time.